Hi, this is the December meeting of the
مرحبا، ده
PTA of the
استماع
William
شهر
Butler
ديسمبر
School. My name is Taylor
للPTA
Mali.
لمدرسة ويليام
I'm the
بutler.
Commissioner of Communications, also
أنا المسؤول
known
عن
as the COM of Comms.
التواصل.
This meeting is happening on Zoom, and
الاجتماع
if
ده
you're
هيحصل
watching it
على
now,
الزوم، ولو انتوا
welcome.
بتتفرجوا دلوقتي مرحبا
I'm going to turn
بيكم.
things over to Joel in a moment, but if you're watching this as a
هنخلي جول تتكلم
recording,
بعد شوية.
if
لو
it's
انتوا
like late
بتتفرجوا
December or
وده
early
تسجيل،
January,
لو
and you
احنا في
decided
نهاية
I better
ديسمبر
go
أو
check
أول
out
شهر
the
يناير
recording of what
وقررتوا
happened
تتفرج على
at the PTA
التسجيل اللي
meeting
حصل في
in the middle
اجتماع
of December,
الPTA في
then
منتصف
I
شهر
want to know
ديسمبر،
who you are, and
أنا
I
عايزة
want to
أعرف انت
harness your
مين
curiosity for the benefit of the PTA. Reach out to me. And now I'm going to turn things over to the president of the PTA. Please put your hands together for Joel
دلوقتي
Ja.
هنروح للرئيس
All right, you're
الPTA
much better
جول.
at the intros than I am, so I think
هو
maybe you'll just do
أشطر
them
في
going forward. Thank you.
المقدمات، اعملهم
All
دايما على
right, let's
طول.
kick things off.
خلينا نبدأ.
I think it's going to be a brief one. Let's see if any issues
هيبقى
catch
اجتماع
fire and
سريع.
we extend
خلينا
the
نشوف
discussion.
ايه اللي
This
هيحصل.
is no longer a draft. This is the agenda.
ده جدول أعمال اليوم.
As always, I will start off with describing what
دائما هبدأ
PTA
بإن
is and
أنا
why we are
أوصف
here.
ايه هو الPTA وليه احنا
Fostering
هنا.
community first and foremost.
أهم حاجة إن احنا يبقى
We're
عندنا
supporting each
مجتمع
other. We're
ندعم
focusing
فيه
on
بعض
diversity, equity, and
ونركز على
inclusion.
التنوع والإنصاف.
Funding programs. TWE does
ودعم
not give us nearly
البرامج.
enough
القسم
money as we
التعليمي
need.
مش بيدونا
So we
أموال كافية،
fundraise
فاحنا
a whole bunch
محتاجين
for our kids.
نجمع أموال
And we support and
للتبرعات.
inform wherever
واحنا
we
كمان
can. Parents,
بندعم
teachers, school
وبنعرف
admin, families,
أولياء الأمور
etc., etc.
والمدرسين
Our latest budget
وموظفين
numbers,
المدرسة.
we are aiming for
الميزانية بتاعتنا
$260,000 income, and we're planning on spending
ل200-360 ألف وناويين نصرف
$252,000
منهم
this year.
252 ألف السنة دي.
This is the elected board.
ده
These are elected
اللجنة.
positions. We've got three main buckets: enrichment,
عندنا
community, and
3 قطاعات
development.
مختلفين.
Development's another word for fundraising.
النمو هو كلمة أخرى
Sure, we do a
لجمع
lot, but
التبرعات.
without
بنعمل
parent
حاجات كتير
volunteers,
ولكن
without
بدون
everybody lending a hand, then we couldn't
التطوع
do
من
nearly as much
العوائل
as
ما
we
كناش
do.
نقدر نعمل كل
So
الحاجات
I'll
دي.
constantly say thank you for
فأنا
that.
عايزة أشكركم بشكل مستمر.
Upcoming events. This is
الفعاليات
through to our
المقبلة.
next PTA meeting. Spirit Week is happening. We've done
أسبوع
so much already. I think
العوائل.
Spirit Week feels like a relief. The holiday performances are happening. I hope
العروض
everybody's enjoying
الخاصة
those, and then
بالأعياد
we've got break.
هتحصل، بتمنى تستمتعوا بيهم. بعد كده عندنا إجازة.
You have an idea, you have a topic, you have something
لو
that you
عندكم
want to
فكرة،
discuss.
موضوع، حاجة عايزين تتكلموا
Great,
فيها،
bring it up. And then be prepared to roll up your
قولوها
sleeves and get to
وجهزوا
work
نفسكم علشان
because we
تشتغلوا،
are all volunteers.
لأن إحنا كلنا
And
متطوعين.
the best way to see an idea done
أحسن
is
طريقة نشوف بيها
to do it.
فكرة
Bring
إن
it
إحنا
up. Let's
نعملها
talk about it. Get
ونتكلم
people on your
عنها.
team, and let's give it a shot. Let's give it a go. Minutes from the last meeting. We
دقائق
need
من
to
آخر
approve
اجتماع
them. So I
محتاجين
motion to
نصدق
vote that we
عليهم.
approve the
وأنا
minutes.
عايز نصوت وأنا بصدق عليهم.
Great. They're available on this link if anybody is curious.
موجودين في الرابط ده
Anybody
لو انتم
opposed
مهتمين،
to
أو لو في أي حد
approving the minutes
معترض
immediately
على موافقة الدقائق
besides Taylor?
بعيدا عن تايلر.
Okay, let's count them approved. Thank you.
هنعتبرهم متصدقين. شكرا.
SLT, School Leadership Team. These are the folks that are
SLT فريق الدعم
put
المدرسي.
together.
دول
There's 5
الأشخاص اللي
parents,
هم
5
5 أولياء
school
أمور
administrators or teachers. So 10
ومدرسين.
total folks
الإجمالي
put together
10
to
كلهم مع بعض
discuss school issues,
يتكلموا
but
عن مشاكل
mostly we're there
المدرسة
to prepare the
وكمان
comprehensive education
يجهزوا
plan, which each school in New York City needs to put
التعليم،
together.
خطة
We meet monthly.
بنتقابل كل شهر.
Didn't meet this month because we
متقابلناش
had
الشهر ده
actually an
علشان
equity
كان
fellows meeting
عندنا
tonight instead, which I'll
اجتماع
describe to you in a minute.
النماذج
The
بديل
other meeting we
هشرحه
do
لكم بعد
monthly is the
شوية.
Principals Roundtable, where we talk about equity and inclusion.
اتكلمنا عن
I
الإنصاف.
was supposed to put those on the calendar, I completely
المفروض
forgot.
نحط ده في
But they're the
الأجندة
first and
لكن
third
نسيت.
Monday of each month, essentially. So I'll try
إن
to
احنا
remember to put that on the
بنتقابل كل
calendar
اتنين.
ASAP.
رنا انت سامعاني؟
The District 13 Equity Fellows meeting that I went to tonight. So in lieu of the
رنا انت
roundtable,
سامعاني؟
and the SLT meeting, we attended this Equity Fellows meeting,
حضرنا
which
الاجتماع
essentially
ده
is a program that District
هو
13 runs
برنامج
to
في
train
المقاطعة
our
13 عشان
educators in the
يدرب
practice of equity.
المعلمين
It was
على كيفية
quite
الإنصاف
amazing. It
وكان
was 3 hours
عظيم
long tonight.
كان مدته 3 ساعات
It
الليلة
was
دي
deep and impactful,
كان
and I
عميق
love to see that
ومفيد
there is this type of program available
وأحب أشوف
for
البرنامج ده
our
يكون
school
متاح
educators or our leaders. Not all districts
للمدرسين.
do this. Nobody
كل
does this, is what I would
المقاطعات
say.
بتعمل
This
كده.
is a District 13 thing that they came
دي
up with.
حاجة خاصة بالمقاطعة رقم
And it was pretty
13
amazing.
وكان
If you want
جميل.
more
لو
information
عايزين معلومات
on it, I
أكتر
will actually meant to put the link in here. I'm going to stick the link to their
هحط
website
الرابط
in the
الخاص بالموقع
chat.
بتاعهم في
Link
المحادثة.
to their website. There it is. This one here. I'm going to put it in the chat so you guys can have a look. PS 133 was represented. We have folks who are alumni and running some of the program there, as well as I think a couple of our teachers joined this year and already found it impactful, which is fantastic.
انضم لينا.
انت سمعاني رنا؟
سمعاكي، انت سمعاني؟
يس انا سمعاك. هو في عرب؟
ما اعرفش بس الاسماع متسجل فمش مشكلة، خلينا نكمل. هو
اوكي.
Communication slide, you're up.
لما يجي دورك هبعتلك رسالة.
In about several dozen ways, comms tried to tweak things and improve things this year to make sure that we would hit the ground running. And I think we were successful in many of those. We have, as you know, sent out a newsletter every Sunday since August 25th. Our WhatsApp groups have been, some say, a little too active. I've managed to connect people who are finally decide that they are willing to help with the people who are doing the work faster via the PTA recruitment form. We have published hundreds of photos. I have managed to slip rhyme and metaphor into comms in a way that I don't think many people have noticed. We've gotten more dads involved than ever before, something that PS9 envies us for. We're not quite sure what it means or how we did it. We managed to convince the administrations that the display monitor in the lobby needs to be vertical. They really wanted to put it horizontal, which would have meant that we would be doing twice as many graphics. Now we just make something, one for the phone, and then not too hard, and it's made for the lobby as well. And finally, I have limited, I promise that I have limited the number of WhatsApp and Parent Square messages that everybody receives to less than 750, that's supposed to 7,000 per day. We are really trying to protect you from the information that you don't need to have and only bother you with the stuff that you do need to have. We have really hit the ground running. We could use all the help that we have. That we can get, and that's everything that I have to say from communications. But now I would like to spotlight a couple of our volunteers. I don't know whether these 6 people are on this call or not. They didn't know that they were going to be spotlit. This is a new thing that we're doing. The first is Edward Chin, who after the November meeting felt so inspired to step in that I noticed that he joined 4 different committees and initiatives in less than 24 hours. He's doing wonderful work, especially with presenting the after-school options, our camp guide on the website. Tony DeSanzo, always ready to do whatever needs to be done. One of the committee chairs says, when he says yes, he's down for whatever needs doing. He was also part of the all-male tour guide last week, giving school tours. Julie Katz,
التور الخاص
one
بالمدرسة
of the
جولي
committee
كات
chairs said she was one of those
أحد
parents
أعضاء
who joined the
اللجنة
bake sale committee when we
بيقول إن
asked
هي
for more
أحد
help
العوائل
in the
اللي
run up to
بينضموا
the
للمنتدى
marathon,
لما
and then she
بتحتاج
just didn't
مساعدة
go away. She
وما
was
فيش
instrumental in
كان
managing the flow at the kids'
موجودة
carnival
بتسيطر على
bake sale table. Scott Sanders and Mike
المبيعات
Diacavella,
الخاصة
this dynamic
بالخبيز
dad
الأطفال
duo is always ready
سكوت
to help
ومايك
with operational and technical support,
هما الاتنين
especially in the
بيساعدوا
areas of
في المشاكل
infrastructure and
التقنية
audio for the winter concert.
مشاكل
The
الصوت
Performing Arts Committee says that
اللجنة بتقول إن هما من غيرهم
could have been a
ما
disaster.
لهمش الصوت
And lastly,
لو كانت تحصل
Veronica
مصيبة
Vela, she's like
آخر
a
حاجة
PTA fixer. She
فيرونيكا
just shows up and is always a good
بتصلح
helper at
ودايما
events. And when
موجودة
I see
ودايما
her, I know that a
بتساعد ولما
task is
بشوفها
in good
هعرف
hands.
إن
If you would like to
المسؤولية
join
بيد
these
أمينة
folks
لو
and
عايزين تنضموا
step up,
ليهم
possibly volunteer for something small or something
وتتطوعوا
big,
لحاجة صغيرة
shoot
أو
that
كبيرة
PA recruitment form QR code in the corner of that
تقدروا
slide, and you will
تعملوا
be,
سكان للكيو ار كود
before you know it, you will be part of the
علشان
group.
تتطوعوا
And you're
تبقوا جزء
already
من
part of the
الفريق
community. So welcome.
تكونوا فعلا جزء من المجتمع
Thank you very much. Absolutely
شكرا
appreciate it.
ليكم
You probably see a lot of the same faces over and over again, but
هتشوفوا
we
وجوه
seriously could
كتيرة
not
بشكل
get
متكرر
any of the things we do
لكن
done
احنا
if
ما
it wasn't
نقدرش
for
نعمل أي
folks
حاجة
just
من
lending a
الحاجات
hand
دي
here and there, stepping up
بدون
here and there,
الناس اللي بيجوا
and then getting
يدعمونا
roped in. Class parents, I think Layla's out. Gosh, everybody's getting sick. I'm not
أعتقد
getting with
ليلى
that. We're not going to be
مريضة
one of those families. But huge thank you to all the class
بس عايزين
parents
نشكر
for collecting the
كل
holiday gifts,
أولياء
your
أمور الفصول اللي
teachers,
جمعوا هدايا الأعياد
and
والمدرسين
I
والموظفين
know it's a lot that we ask of
أنا عارف إن
everybody,
إحنا بنطلب منكم حاجات
but our
كتير
teachers really
لكن
are
المدرسين
amazing. So
بجد
thank you for doing this.
عظيمين فشكرا لكم.
Enrichment, Melissa, are you on?
لسه أنت معانا؟
No. Okay. So enrichment, the
أنا
things
معاك
that
ياس
that enrich our kids.
من لسه أنيسة
Literacy, extended day, garden, arts, etc. Garden committee. Laura Tabitha.
الحديقة تابثة
Nope. So I will go through this. There was a huge effort to remove the soil from collapsing garden beds. If you've seen pictures, if you've been in the garden, you'll see that their collapse was imminent. There is a plan to buy new metal ones, rat resistant and also weather resistant, we'll call it. A grant was just submitted, I think, last weekend. So
That's right.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, grant was submitted last week for the
Awesome.
beds.
Awesome. And then upcoming this spring, hopefully we'll be assembling those new garden beds. I did see that there was a call for soil and compost out there someplace. And the looks like the native sign unveiling was postponed until the spring. That was the yield, the result of another grant that we got was the cost of the signage to educate the community. Oh yeah, there it is. Garden needs compost and dirt. Nice animation, Laura. Literacy committee. Carla, is that you?
That's me. So we're hoping to have a meeting in the next year, Friday, January 17th, to really try to put together and organize and divvy up tasks for the Read a fundraiser in February. So it would be great if people could join, and there is a QR code on the slide to specifically join that WhatsApp group. The Holiday Bazaar offer visit and the reading corner was successful, I hear. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but there were lots of photos circulated. And yeah, we would like to hear if, any
وحابين
feedback,
نسمع لو
obviously,
في أي
for next year. And we continue to work
رد
on
برضو السنة الجاية رد
our
فعل
next
وهنستمر
author
في
visit.
العمل على
We have 2 more
زيارة
author visits
الكتاب عندنا 2 كتاب
scheduled
هيزورونا
or plan to be
تم
scheduled
تحديد
for next year
مواعيدهم
for
السنة الجاية
K1 and then for
الصف الأول من الابتدائية
4th and 5th
الصف
grade.
الأول والصف
And
الرابع والخامس
we also have some people working
كمان
on
عندنا
the
ناس
French
شغالين
language book fair.
على
So yeah, there's
تعديل
kind of a
الكتاب
lot that we want to do.
في حاجات كتيرة
And if people really, if we could use more people to just work on all the
نستغل الناس
events,
أكتر
because
عشان يساعدونا في
there's always sort of like
لأن
the
دي
next immediate event that obviously
فعاليات
takes a lot of
جاية
work to
وبتحتاج
get it
شغل
done on
كتير
time, but there are longer
بتخلص الوقت
projects that
في مشاريع
need to get
أطول
started now. Otherwise,
نشتغل
we're not
عليها
going
من
to be able
دلوقتي
to
يا إما
achieve
مش هنقدر
what we would like to do.
نحققهم
So any volunteers would be
لو في أي
greatly appreciated.
متطوعين
Thank you.
احنا ممتنين ليهم وشكرا.
Thank you. Interpreters, do I need to trade you guys out?
Yes,
okay.
please. This is Dora. I don't have the option to switch to Spanish or to do it in Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know why. So I will just switch out.
تقدري تكملي أنيسة أنا هوقف دلوقتي تمام؟
اوكي
Dora,
ما
you're
نعمل
going to
30 دقيقة
Spanish.
30 دقيقة لا
الاجتماع أصلا هيخلص بعد
Anissa, you're
10
going into
دقايق.
Arabic.
اوكي no problem.
There
اوكي
can only
هكمل.
be one at a time, Anissa.
مع السلامة
Is there-
رنا.
Louis, it's like Highlander. There can be only one.
Do you hear me?
It's not quite there yet. I'm not able to select you for some reason.
أنا سامعاكي
Where did you
تمام
go?
هو تقريبا متلخبطين في حاجة عندهم مشكلة.
I think no علشان يعرفوا إذا فيه سؤال لكن ما في عرب ما أظن عندنا أسئلة.
الاجتماع متسجل هم بيسجلوا ترجمتنا فمش فارقة لو حتى ما فيش
أوكي.
دلوقتي هم محتاجينها
أوكي
بعدين.
أوكي فهمت عليكي. أوكي.
Give me one more moment. We'll have to figure out how to make this language interpretation transition.
When you're ready,
smooth.
Joel, or perhaps you can toss this to an upcoming committee report. Somebody in the chat asks, can we get more affordable or free after school for low-income families?
هناك في سؤال
would love that.
يقول إذا هناك يعني الأسرات اللي عندها
Hay
يعني
personas y
مدخول
porque si
قليل
pueden conseguir
إذا هناك
Anissa, you're still in the
يعني
general
en
room,
español.
actually.
I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm sorry that this
Si
isn't
pueden
actually
conseguir
working.
gratuito o de bajo costos.
It will only let me choose Rana for some reason.
Solamente.
Let me see.
Dejar.
So once again, technical difficulties with the Arabic.
Otra
Apologies.
vez.
I'm going to continue with the meeting and ask somebody who is a co-host if they can try to
Voy a continuar con
fix this.
la reunión y
Is there
Amanda,
any
alguien que
make you
sea
Arabic?
co-host pueda hacerlo.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Is there any Arabic families?
I do not hear anybody raising their hand.
Just to know if they have like, any question.
If there are any, please add questions to the chat, and I'll ask Amanda and Taylor to investigate if we could figure out how to manage the interpretation better. And I'm going to continue with the meeting. Affordable after school. That's a fantastic question. There is a slide for extended day. So when we get there, I would love to have that discussion.
اليوم المطور لما نوصل له
Performing Arts
هنتكلم في الموضوع
Committee.
ده لجنة
Anybody
الفنون،
here for
في
Performing
أي
Arts
حد هنا
Committee?
من لجنة الفنون الاستعراضية؟
Un comité.
Holiday shows. They're
عروض
happening. I hope you
الأعياد
guys are loving them. Our two
بدأت
daughters are going
وبتمنى إن
tomorrow
انتوا
morning.
تكونوا مبسوطين بيهم. إن احنا
Next
الاتنين
up, there
هيكونوا
was
بكرة.
talk of a family talent show.
De una
So
كانوا
I'll toss that
بيتكلموا
out
إنهم
there if
عايزين
anybody's interested in
يعملوا
organizing such a
عرض
fun event.
للمواهب الخاصة
organizando un
بالأولياء
evento.
Spring
الأمور.
musical's coming up, which
عروض
is
el musical
I think the
de
kids are gonna
primavera va a
start that
venir,
process in January.
هيبدأوها
los
في
chicos
شهر
van a
The
empezar
next
ese
يناير.
proceso en enero
meeting for the committee is January
y
10th.
el próximo
المقابلة
Drop in,
reunión
join
es
in,
الجاية
see
enero
what
10.
10
what
يناير.
they're
Traten
up
شوفوا
to.
هما
The
عايزين
meeting
de
or the
venir a la
يعملوا
musical in
reunión.
and of itself takes a
El
ton of
musical
volunteer work,
toma
all different types.
muchísimos
And it's fun.
voluntarios.
Hillary has an announcement.
Hillary tiene un
Hey,
anuncio.
So
عايزة
the,
تقول
I
Hola.
wanted two
حاجة.
things, that the talent show is actually meant for
El
both
talent
عرض
show
parents
es
and the
para
kids,
los
as
padres
well
y
as
los
we're gonna try
أولياء
and bring in the
الأمور.
teachers
también de
وكمان
as
traer
well.
a
So
los
it's like a whole,
profesores,
it's the
فتبقى
whole community.
كل
And then
toda
there's
la
also going to
comunidad.
be, Miss Wiley is going to be putting on a dance show
وكمان
Y
يبقى
va a
في
haber un
around
baile
the weekend
رقص
following
في
the
العطلة
y
بتاعت
la semana
الأسبوع،
siguiente.
عطلة نهاية
that you
الأسبوع.
do the World Culture Night. So that Culture
ليلة
Thursday, the following weekend, we're trying to put into
va a haber una noche
Miss Wiley's dance show.
cultural.
That would be awesome.
Do we know what the musical is?
احنا عارفين
Sabemos
ايه
de
هو
qué se
العرض
trata
الموسيقي.
el musical.
نعم بس مش هقول.
Sí, pero no se los vamos a decir.
All right. Grants Committee, so busy this
Gran
cycle.
comité.
May, you're up.
Muy,
منح مشغولين جدا.
Oh yeah, I do want to share my screen again. Thank you.
yo quiero compartir mi pantalla otra vez.
No, wrong screen. I'll get this.
No.
Where are you? This one.
Esta es la pantalla incorrecta.
May, I'm going to spotlight you. You probably can start speaking. There you go.
Ahí está.
And you're muted, May.
Oh,
May
can you hear me now?
Yep, we can.
¿Pueden escucharme ahora?
Okay, great. Sorry about that. So as Joel mentioned, we had a very busy cycle, which is very nice to see. We had an overwhelming response to the applications in the end. And as you can see, we were able to run, in fact, all of the applications that were requested, and it's across all the grades. Very nice to see. I would like to thank all the class parents that were also encouraging and helping the teachers to put in the applications, because I know sometimes it can get a lot, and the application process can look a little bit daunting. But we were able to review all the applications. Some really nice things to see, especially the 3K class as well, asking for supplies now. And we will get into a second cycle next year as well. And actually, spoken to Ms. Heather Fosterman, there might be some budget in the school budget, so we might have spare budget to use in the coming cycles for any additional requests. Or as you can see, the teachers are getting quite creative with their requests in trying to supplement the curriculum. So it was quite helpful to see the application. We do have a committee already of volunteers, but we also, as I mentioned in the past, have another grant arm where we apply for external grants, and we always need help there to read through applications, search for applications. We recently submitted a grant last week for the garden committee to request for those garden beds Joel mentioned as part of the garden update. And next cycle is actually going to be the busiest one in terms of our grants, because that's when most of the deadlines are. So any volunteers, you can email me and let me know the process. Thank you.
موجود على الشاشة.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Extended day. Okay.
دلوقتي هنتكلم عن
Okay.
لجنة النمو
Día
المطور.
So
de
we have
extensión. un comité para el día
These
de
3 bullet points
extracción.
here. So Encore winter registrations open now.
Hay la
If you
registración,
want in, have a look at the
registración
schedule, have a look at the
para,
classes
الشتاء
available,
بدأ
and
التسجيل مفتوح
register.
para que
دلوقتي
vean
تقدروا
qué
تقدموا
qué
فيه.
clases
Discovery
hay
Kids is
actualmente.
still a thing.
Discovery Kids
It
لسه
is 3K
شغال
through
Descubrir
first grade,
a
and
los
there
الحضر الصف
is
الأول
French
باللغة
and
hay para
الفرنسية
Spanish
francés,
immersion
والأسبانية.
español,
offered as well.
inmersión
You can
se
check
está
the
ofreciendo
website for that
también.
information.
Pueden,
Also,
pueden
الموقع
chequear
I keep
el
saying the
المعلومات
website. It's our
دي.
school website.
موقع
I'll tap that and I'll
المدرسة
type it in the
I
chat.
got it.
هكتبه
I
في
got it.
المحادثة.
Thank you.
Yo lo tengo.
And this school break camp guide, I think it's pretty close to launching for the spring.
والكامب بتاع
These
المدرسة هيبدأ
camps
تقريبا في
pay
الخريف
in. They
في
donate
الربيع
money in order
والكامب
to
ده
be
بيتبرع
part of this
بأموال
guide. So it's a
علشان
fundraiser for
Puede
us,
ser.
as well as a
فهي
great resource
تجميع
for
للتبرعات
parents to
لينا
see what options there are
وكمان حاجة
for
Para ver
كويسة
que,
for holiday break coverages.
para ver,
Um,
que vean que
what else
cubre
we're trying to do here? So the addressing the
nosotros
question about
para solucionar la
affordable
بخصوص
palabra,
السؤال
para que sea
عن
childcare, that is
الرعاية
absolutely a
الخاصة
dream that we're
بالأطفال
trying to
sea
بسعر
un
accomplish
precio
معقول ده
at
حلم احنا
133.
بنحاول نوصل
Over
له
the
في
summer
مدرسة
last year,
133
we made
في
an
الصيف السنة
attempt
اللي فاتت
to
عملنا
get
محاولة
in
إن
a program
احنا
called Teen.
tratamos
They're a
de
برنامج
nonprofit. They were
اسمه
started in
تين
PS9 by
un
their
programa
PTA.
في اسمها
And then they just became their own
هما
nonprofit
بدأوا هناك
organization.
وبقوا
They were
جمعية
offering childcare for $17 a day.
organización sin
No
fines de
رعاية
commitment,
lucro
للأطفال ب
just
$17
$17 a
في
day,
اليوم مفيش أي
whether it's
التزام
one
بس
day a month
$17 في
or
اليوم
20
وإذا
days
كان
a
يوم
month.
واحد بس في الشهر
And
أو
that
20
seemed
يوم في
like
día o
by
الشهر
20
far
días.
the
وده
best
Eso
أحسن
option
fue
for
por
affordable
خيار
childcare
la
that we could
mejor
find.
للرعاية
We did not
الخاصة
opción.
hit the
بالأطفال
critical
Conseguimos,
mass needed in order for them to
no,
start
no
their
pudimos
program
cubrirlos
with us in the
a
fall.
todos.
للرقم
There
المعين
was
اللي هم محتاجينه علشان
let's
نبدأ
say,
معهم
communication
البرنامج
breakdown
كان
as
في
well.
مشاكل في التواصل
And
كمان
También hubo
and
mucha
it just didn't get off
comunicación.
the ground. I think also they are a small
Yo creo
organization, so I
أعتقد
think
إن هم
also they were
جمعية
hay
stretched a little
صغيرة
thin.
organizaciones
فهم
They had implemented
más
the
pequeñas
كانوا
they're the
implementaron
facilitators for our Encore program, so they were doing that with us already, and I think it just became a little bit overwhelming to them.
أعتقد الموضوع
We're
بقى
not
موتر
giving up
بالنسبة
on that.
لهم
We asked
إحنا
them if
مش
they would
هنستسلم
be
إحنا
willing to try
سألناهم
a
إذا كانوا
January launch.
يقدروا يجربوا مثلا يبدأوا في
I've learned
يناير
firsthand trying to
Yo
launch after
yo he
school program
escuchado
إن برامج ما بعد
mid-year
المدرسة
is
في نص
really
العام
really difficult,
الدراسي
if not
بتكون
que es
impossible.
شيء
muy
صعب
So when
وأحيانا
they said no, they
مستحيل
didn't want to
فلما
do
قالوا
that.
لأ
I think
هم مش
we
عايزين
understood.
أعتقد إن إحنا كنا متفاهمين
We're not going to give up
لكن
on it.
إحنا مش
I think
هنستسلم
this is still a
أعتقد
good
إن ده
solution for it. They have a
حل
lot of good
جيد
ellos tienen
a lot of families who
في
love what they
عائلات
do. Kids
familias
كتير
love what they
بيحبوا
do at PS9 and
شغلهم
other schools
adoran
that they're
hacer lo
already
que
in.
hacen
So
y los
that
tienen
is going
PS9
to
والمدارس
be
التانية اللي هم
a
فيها
big
va a
part of
ser
our solution.
una gran
In the
parte de nuestra
spring,
هيكون جزء كبير
solución.
من
we'll
En
حلنا
start putting
primavera
up
في
nosotros vamos
الربيع
promotional
a empezar
information
a poner
and
هيكون في معلومات
información de
أكتر
promociones,
some more information about
más
the
información,
costs and the commitments,
معلومات زيادة
and
عن
hopefully
costo,
start building up
التكلفة
family interest
y el
والالتزام
compromiso
ونحاول
and see if we
نلتزم
could
من
get to that
العوائل
y a ver
وإذا
critical
si
كنا
mass that we
نقدر
need
نوصل
in order
للرقم
for
اللي
them to
احنا
feel
محتاجينه
comfortable
عشان هم
para que se
يكونوا
sientan
that
cómodos,
مطمنين إن
will
هم
break even essentially
هيقدروا
with the program.
يشغلوا
once it's in.
البرنامج
But
لما يبدأ
unfortunately, that is next fall.
بس ده لسه في
Looking
الخريف
for
الجاي
other things. We've explored.
احنا دورنا
If anybody has any ideas, please reach out
لو أي
to
حد عنده
Extended
أي
Day
فكرة من فضلكم
and
تواصلوا
bring them
مع
up.
Extended Day
I've
لجنة اليوم
asked
المطول
Principal Fosterman what it would take
أنا
to
اتكلمت مع
expand
مدير
University
المدرسة
Settlement,
أو
for
مديرة
example,
المدرسة
and she said that we have no
وقالت لي
control
إن
over
إحنا ما
it.
عندناش
It's a
سيطرة
city
على
mandated
الموضوع
thing.
ده
They have a number
حاجة
of
ليها
seats,
علاقة
and that's the
بالمدير
end of that.
وعندهم كراسي محددة
So I was hoping
أنا كنت
to
بأمل
follow that
إن
path to see if we
إحنا
could
نمشي
find
في الطريق ده
even
في
expanding
ese
free
camino
childcare
y
in that
ونحاول
way.
نوصل لرعاية
But that
أفضل
was a
para
no-go.
ليه
tener
حتى لا يكون
un
ما
cuidado
نجحناش
The
gratuito
PTA
o
raises,
libre.
as you saw, it's
تبرعات ال
$250,000
PTA زي
or
ما
so
شفتوا أكتر
a
من
year.
$200,000
That's our. Did somebody ask a
Ese es
question?
nuestro.
Where does it go?
Yes, where does it go?
I'll flip to that slide in a second. But to that point,
أوريكم بعد
you know,
لحظة ولكن
where does that money go? Do we
فين
want
بتروح
to shift our
¿Dónde va ese
priorities? Do we want to
dinero?
get
عايزين ننقل
clever about
مسؤولياتنا عايزين نبقى
raising funds beyond that?
¿Cómo,
Where does it go? I'm just gonna go to our budget slide here.
أروح هنا للوحة
This
الخاصة
is
بالميزانية.
this is where it goes.
ده المكان اللي بتروح فيه.
The biggest the middle column here is enrichment and
Aquí
support.
الصف المتوسط
This
هنا
is
الدعم
what
support
we're
de-
raising money
والتنشيط.
for. So if you look at
دي
the
الأشياء اللي احنا
first
بنجمع
item
أموال
there,
علشانها. أول
we
حاجة
cut a
هنا
check to the school
هتشوفوا
for
queriendo juntar
$127,000.
dinero, ¿no?
$127,000
Not one check, we do it in parts.
مش شيك واحد
But it's so that we can cover, we can help them with the
para ver si
costs
podemos
of many of
el
these arts
costo
programs,
البرامج
lunch and
mu-
recess staff, the cost of Parent Square. And we had just voted to help them with the academic and after school and enrichment program. So we're paying $40,000 into that program. The focus is going to be ages 2 through 5. Students who need help will get priority. Need extra academic help will get priority. There was a special meeting earlier this month, so we pivoted some funds toward this program as an example. So when we talk about where the money goes and what we're raising it for and how we can spend it, it is just talking it out and figuring out what our priorities are. We do have a lot of big, not big meetings, but when we talk about, we'll talk about the 2025-2026 budget coming spring, just kind of rethinking it again. But that doesn't stop us from tweaking it month over month when we need to, when we need to pivot and be more nimble, like we did earlier this month. I personally would like to make affordable and free after school, aftercare a priority for the PTA. I don't necessarily have a solution for it yet, but we've definitely been exploring what options are out there. So again, if anybody wants to join in on this, please do, and email that email address.
reunirse y tiene ideas, mándenos a ese correo electrónico.
Any other questions or comments on that topic?
¿Alguna otra
أي أسئلة أو استفسارات بخصوص
pregunta
الموضوع
que
ده؟
tengan?
Okay.
Am I up?
Yes, Yoko, it's you.
Hi, sorry,
Hannah.
it's noisy here. We have, speaking of community,
Nosotros,
we have
hablando de comunidad,
PS 133 families, past and present, all
PS
gathered behind me at a holiday party.
135,
But
estamos
yeah, we
teniendo
are
una
the
fiesta
community committee and we take care of these
nosotros,
areas, these domains you see in front of you.
nosotros
And
vemos estas
next
áreas
slide,
que están
please.
enfrente suya. La
So I
próxima
wanted to play down
diapositiva, yo quiero
the video so everyone could see the full video that was
video
made, and we've been doing the
que
tours,
fue
but
hecho
take it away.
Sometimes we
Audio
have
may not work.
trouble letting the sound.
hay algún problema con el sonido.
We've never
I'm not even
been able
gonna, I'm not
make
gonna
this
try to
work.
solve it. Yeah.
But we should say,
subtitled.
Yoko, that this video has been seen over 1,200 times in less than a day.
Este video
Nice.
ha sido
Well, I can
visto
talk
como
over it then and just
12,000
say,
veces.
I think this video is a beautiful
Yo creo que
representation of our classrooms, our school
es
building,
una
our
bella
students, our
representación de
teachers,
nuestras
and
clases,
support staff,
de nuestro
and
edificio.
we're so proud to show it
Y estoy
around to help
muy orgullosa de
bring many
enseñarlo
people to come and tour the
y
school
traer
and place
y
the
ver
school on
que
their
muchas personas
applications
vienen
and
a las
reach out to the
escuelas
school if they're
y
even looking to move
aplican.
schools. Yeah, again,
Y,
incredibly
sí,
proud. And thank you to
y
David,
gracias
Jess,
a
who's right here,
Jess que está
Tony,
aquí,
Fraser, and Lewis, who have been helping with
y Luis
tours
que han
this
estado
season.
ayudando.
So many
con-
parents with so many scared and, intimidated questions about how to send their kids to our school. And we're so proud to show the school off, and the kids that from the student government who show it off with us are always incredible. when we tour. So there's more tours coming up. If you also feel like you would like
Vienen
to
más si
help show off
ustedes
the school, come
creen
and
que pueden
host a tour.
ayudar y
Next slide, please.
siguiente diapositiva, por favor.
Slide. All right. So
Okay.
again, we do need to try
Bien.
and help with
Nosotros
dual
necesitamos
language programs. So if you
ayudar
know
con
anyone in any kind of
programa
French speaking or
dúo.
Spanish speaking
Si hay alguien que habla inglés o
might be
francés
interested, please forward them the
que
video.
estaría
Please, reach out
interesado,
to get some more information. We'd love to kind of just spread the word. And even if it's
búsquennos
transferring past
para
kindergarten, past application years, we'd be happy to chat with them and
para
answer any questions.
expandir
Next
este
slide.
programa. Necesitamos voluntarios.
Diana, you wanna chat about learning diversity?
¿Quieres hablar?
Hi, everyone.
Diana.
Sorry if can you guys hear me?
¿Me
We had a
pueden
wonderful
escuchar?
meeting, Learning
Nosotros
Diversity
tuvimos
Committee.
una
We meet once
reunión
a
muy
month.
bonita.
Our next meeting
Tenemos
is going to be coming
una
up on January
mensual.
14th. We meet typically in the library. Please come join us. We have a wonderful WhatsApp group where we love to add on their opportunities and different activities that for support for families of children with IEPs or sensory activities for children with special needs. But please come join us. We would love
para
for you
los
to join us
alumnos
for the next meeting.
con necesidades
I will
especiales
say that
y que
Mr. D
tengan
told us last month that he was bragging to the district superintendent about the Learning Diversity Committee, because not every school has a committee
todas
that
las escuelas tienen
assembles
un
parents of
comité
special
y
education
una
learners.
asamblea
And so
para
he is incredible. He's a huge advocate for
educadores
this group and
especiales
comes
para
to most
niños con
meetings as well.
educación especial.
Yeah.
Nosotros sí lo tenemos.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lily Dalk. I'm the
Hola a
chair of
todos,
the
yo
Pride
soy Lily
Committee, which was just founded in the
la
fall.
presidenta
And
que
we
recién
have started
empezado
a small WhatsApp
en
chat group
otoño.
with
Hemos
about
empezado
4
un chat
families
group,
where at
un
least one
WhatsApp,
person
grupo
identifies as being
WhatsApp.
part of the peer community, and then we have a few allies on there as well. We'd love to get more families connected so we can get a
Nosotros
better sense
queremos
of what
conectar
people's experiences at the
a
school
más
are and what kind of
familia para
support
que digan
people might like, what they'd like the group to do.
qué les gustaría que
Brooklyn
el grupo
Seeds, which
hiciera.
does gardening work at PS 133, actually hosted a Pride gathering at PS 282's
con
garden
PS
last week, which was really lovely. We were able to connect with some other
que podemos
families
conectarnos
in the
con otras
neighborhood
familias
and kind of casually spoke about maybe creating a coalition of similar groups in the area, since it seems like there's a lot of schools with kind of small groups like ours, and it might be nice to connect and also share experiences between schools. I had a couple questions for the group. One is if anyone knows teachers or people on the administration that would be particularly good allies as we move forward in thinking about how to have a bigger presence at the school. I saw on the website that there's individual teacher emails listed. I don't know if there's a teacher, like a group teacher email that we could send a message to about our group and what we hope to offer to kids. So if anyone knows how to reach teachers all at once, that would be helpful rather than having to click through on all the links.
I can do that for you, Lily.
Talk to our comm of comms. But they have their own newsletter called The Buzz, which is a great name.
Great. Okay, perfect. So that would be a good way to reach them. But yeah, if anyone has particular teachers in mind who would, or admin staff in mind who would make great allies, we'd love to I'd love to be in touch with them. And then I'm also curious to talk. I have my kid is in kindergarten, so and was in pre-K last year, so the bathrooms were in the class. I know for the upper grades, the bathrooms are like in the hall and they're binary gender. I know under New York State or New York City law, you know, anyone can use the bathroom of their choosing that best aligns with their gender identity. But I'm wondering if the school has any gender neutral bathrooms or like single stall bathrooms for kids who might not feel comfortable going to a binary bathroom. So I was curious to know if anyone has ideas about how the school navigated that in the past or what kids' experiences have been with that as we start conversations around bathroom inclusivity.
acerca de los baños, del uso de los
And
baños.
yeah, I think we will probably
Yo
schedule an
creo que
in-person
nosotros
gathering sometime in the
probablemente
new year,
haremos una
maybe January or
presentación
February,
en
just
persona,
to kind of
probablemente
meet face to
enero o
face and build some
febrero,
community, and maybe we'll invite
cara a cara,
groups from other schools as well to join that, depending on how many people are
para que nos,
interested.
dependiendo de cuántas
So that's all
personas
for me.
sean.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome.
Gracias.
Take a look at the chat. It looks like Shireen addressed the bathroom question, actually.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Quick pause. I'm gonna trade out our interpreters one more time for Spanish, which means I have to take off sharing. And hopefully that worked okay.
Quick question. Can we, I don't know how much we have left, but can we join as participants so that way we can do it on the other
I don't
device?
know if the Picture Day committee is here. But you can still order photos and make updates or post it on the right. January 9th. And January 28th. And pictures are actually a fundraiser. We get a percentage of the sales. So if you do want to purchase them and you do so before February 11th, then it counts toward the fundraising amount that we get. Development. Geneva is not here, so I'll read through this. Gosh, what did we do? Wreath sale was successful. That was a fun thing that Geneva was able to put together for the community. The holiday bazaar as well was amazing. We do categorize it as a community event because it's more about fun for the kids and supporting our community. But we are able to raise funds off of that as well. And this was Geneva's baby. She created it last year. Merch has been great. I think everybody's really enjoying the new design. And that's another thing that we shifted from being development over to community, but again, Geneva's taken ownership of it. We actually were able to, we communicated, we asked the admin and teachers if they had any students who wanted merch, who could not afford merch, and they gave us a list of students that they knew, and we were able to give merch to those students. That was delivered this week to admin, and I think Ms. Jones is helping move it toward the teachers, and the teachers will give it to the kids. This is made possible because of a bit of fundraising on the side, I don't know how to call it, that we did last year. Essentially, some families overpaid for some merch, and they, instead of getting a refund, they decided that they would donate their refunded portion to this pool that we have, so that we can do that. If there are kids who can't afford merch, they want some PS133 gear, it's available to them. So I was really happy to see that we were taken up on that offer. Upcoming, Disney on Ice, which was a lot of fun for my daughters. Tickets aren't necessarily cheap, but $5 of each ticket goes to PS133. So if you're so inclined, use that link. And also coming up, spring auction planning will start. The actual spring auction party is May 5th. Or May 9th, sorry. But the planning starts now. So if you are interested in lending a hand in one way or another, please connect with Geneva and Development. Giving November, big thank you to everybody who was able to donate, who was willing to donate. We surpassed our goal, and we were super thankful. We can't do what we do without this community, and both the time that you give, the creativity, and obviously the funds. It's all impactful on the kids, and it's much appreciated. This is Monica is not feeling well today either, so I'll talk through this. This is our financial statement. So first box on the left here is our bank balances. The bottom box on the left is our revenue and expenses for the year, counting things that we haven't quite received yet. So there's a lot of pledged donations that hasn't actually hit our bank accounts yet. Most of those are through corporate matching or corporate portals. So we are happy to wait because most of that meant it was matched by a corporation, which is free money for us. So at the end of the day, we are keeping pace with our expenses. The biggest expense that we had, if you look on the right, this is the itemized revenue and expenses. We did cut a check to PS133 to help them cover the after school academic program that they want to launch in January. For those kids who are the priority, those kids in need of academic help, it is a free program to them. If we had more money, we would have gone even further, but this is what we could do for now. $10,000 went to lunch and recess staff support. The school's budget fell short of that. DOE is late on paying the school what they need. And we wanted to make sure that that shortfall was covered so that staff wasn't removed from lunch and recess. Yeah. We did go over the budget. Other things that are going to come up in the spring, I do want to highlight again Readathon. That actually is a big fundraiser for us. I think our goal is, where are you? What do we put ourselves down for? $12,000. I think we can surpass that. But it is a lot of fun for the kids. It's a lot of fun for the camp families, a lot of fun for the kids. We've got a bunch of ideas about what kind of prizes we can give to the kids and make it even more equitable. But to do that, the more prizes we give, the more ideas we have, the more volunteers we have. So please, piggybacking on what Carla said, if you're interested in having fun with this and helping out the school, please join that effort. And I'll pitch the 133 PTA runners group as well. That has a goal of $12,000 to raise. We're going to start in January. I'm a certified running coach. A couple of you know me from my past life at this school, and a group of parents went through the program last year. And the deal is you fundraise for the school, and I train you to run whatever you want, half marathon, full marathon, 5K, 15K. And we've got running group running sessions, as well as lots of clinics where I tell you all the nerdy stuff there is to tell you about running.
Are you doing ultras yet, Joel?
If you want an ultra, I'll train you for an ultra. Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. I'll even do Ironman. If there's an Ironman, somebody who wants to learn how to do an Ironman, I'll train you how to do that too. Yeah, I'll put out up flyers, more information. There will be an info meeting in early January. I was hoping to have a fun run promo this December, but man, it's been nuts. So sorry folks, you have to run on your own. Yeah, and then I do want to talk about pivoting if not pivoting, then how do we, as a PTA, prioritize equity more? And I think we're doing an okay job, but I think we could do a much better job. And the areas to touch, I think after school care is one that we should explore more and really try to brainstorm and solve this, because the city's not solving it for us. So I think we need to do that. And school supplies was another big thing. We learned from our friends at PS9 that the PTA manages the school supplies for the whole school, and the cost comes to $35 per student. A much bigger volunteer effort, because it's a lot of stuff to manage, but that is a fraction of what we have to pay when we look at the lists that the teachers come up with. So it would save everybody money, but also those who can't afford school supplies won't have to worry about it. There will just be supplies on day one for all kids at PS 133. That's something I would love to have us implement. We have to start working at it in the spring for it to be ready and launched in the fall. Those are my two big ideas. But I think that was the last slide here. And that is the end of 2024. And maybe if anybody's got any other topics, we can touch on them here.
There's a question in the chat about whether the supplies that were ordered by parents in the prepackaged bundles eventually finally arrived.
The answer is sort of. So that was a mess that could actually not get unraveled. Let me show you. Go to the back button here. Yoko and team did our best to try to figure out the things that were missing and not missing. It turned out that a lot of things were actually delivered, but not delivered to the right classroom, or classrooms didn't realize, great, things were packaged in groups of class and program. And if there are multiple classes in that program or in that grade, then it just kind of got lost in another teacher is using it essentially. But we made everybody whole. If you look at the budget line here with the PTA emergency expense, so oops, I'm trying to use my mouse. Toward the bottom of the administrative expenses, we dipped into the PT emergency expense to cover the gaps that the teachers could identify where there were supply issues, school supply issues. So we dipped in there to cover it, essentially. And Yoko did a couple follow-ups to make sure everything was okay, and the dust seemed to settle on the topic, essentially.
Yes, Veronica, because those bundles are not cheap, that's why we're looking at this new way of doing school supplies next year.
Yeah, that was part of the impetus to say that was a complete mess. We should think about doing it differently next year. Yeah.
What else? You're at 55 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to jump in if I can on the community stuff. I don't know if you're able to go back to that last slide, Joe.
Absolutely. This one?
So this one, perfect. So again, we just want to reiterate the situation that we are in terms of recruiting, and really kind of rally everyone on this call and the parents that are involved in the recruitment effort to really, share these videos over the holidays, reach out on your social media networks and make sure that people know that we are an open district school and that we're looking actively at recruiting French and Spanish students. It's imperative that for the life of our program, that as we retool, that people out there know exactly what's happening in the school, and now you have a toolkit to be able to do that. And if you can, again, reiterating the call for volunteers, come to the remaining school tours. Doesn't matter if you speak Spanish, English, French, Arabic. We want to represent everyone that's at the school. It's very important that we show a unified front to invite new families into our school and really kind of put our best foot forward. And we believe that we've done that. So I wanted to thank everyone that was involved in the video effort. Amanda, I want to thank Taylor. I want to thank all the volunteers that sat in to record the messages. We couldn't have done that without you. And so now everyone has this tool to really go out there and get more students. That's the goal. So please do everything you can to spread the word, share the videos, and get the message out that we're looking for applicants. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I see Jessica had one question about tech in school. I think it would start with admin. And then maybe it would depend on what exactly where the discussion goes. Is it something that PTA can help with? Would eventually be the question if it needs to come here. But everything that we do as a PTA gets cleared by school admin. So you might as well just start there and ask them the question. And then the way that we decide how to spend the money is an ongoing conversation with admin about what's the need, essentially. And from my experience, Principal Fosterman's been pretty nimble about figuring out how to stretch a dollar and move things around so that she can run the school.
Speaking of Principal Fosterman and stretching dollars, I have an anonymous question here about the petition that's going around for supplemental funding that is due on Friday. Do you want to speak about that?
I'll say what I do know. She has had conversation with a couple parents, at least that I know. Either was shared with me or I was CC'd on. She's not applying for that money. And she has several reasons why she doesn't want to apply for that particular money. I'm not going to speak with her, and I'm not going to say that I actually don't know enough about what you'd be on the hook for if you accepted that money. But I did have a look at the application, and it is a monster. There's a lot.
Want me to speak on this at all? Because I spoke with Ms. Westerman today about this. I mean, really, if anyone has questions, I guess I could answer them. But it seems like the main reason that she wasn't applying is because the application was not a small thing to do, and it appeared to her that we would not be eligible. I don't know if that's actually true, and it is a matter of opinion. It is my opinion that it's probably still worth applying for anyway, but I understand a lot better after having talked to her about why that was her perception based on the rubric that she saw for the funding itself, like what qualifies you for it, how you get sort of more points towards getting the money. So that was like what her decision was based on, basically.
I was able to actually talk with Megan Dunn, the superintendent of District 13 yesterday on the topic also, just coincidentally, because we had a different meeting. And I asked her what her opinion was, and she said that there was a lot of unanswered questions for it, but she was not going to push any school one way or the other. She was leaving it up to the schools to solve this. That seems like she's abandoning, and that's not what I mean. But she wanted to make sure that she wasn't putting a cookie cutter solution on all of her schools. She wanted to make sure that the schools had a say into what solutions fit best for them. And what became clear to me was that, oh yeah, I guess some schools have space issues, others don't. Some schools share their building with other schools. She said PS9 had 3 free classrooms, like they're just not being used at all. And I know PS133 doesn't have any free classrooms, but we do have
one classroom, she said.
What's that?
We have one free classroom.
Okay, so she is okay. We have one free classroom. So they're not to say like this makes it right or wrong, just saying like, oh, there's all these other factors I hadn't even really thought about. That some schools are trying to solve for space, not just for hiring more teachers. Yeah, so I don't have all the information to run a school, and yeah, that's all I've got with that one.
Can you stop sharing your screen?
Oh yeah, sorry. Please always, Taylor, you can tell me.
That's what I'm here for.
That was actually very helpful. Thank you.
Sure. I will say if you ever have issues or questions or concerns, definitely take it directly to Principal Fosterman. She reacts better and it's more constructive that way if you do that. In my experience. I think because I'm the PTA president, I can shoot her a text, but not everybody can necessarily do that. So please don't ask me to shoot her a text all the time. But also please do come to me as well. Let me be a sounding board for you. Let me help or where I can. Let the PTA help where we can. But with issues with school questions, whether it be about laptops or it be about funding or it be about medical exams, please go directly to the principal. Yeah. Reading the chat.
While you're reading that, I'd like to take advantage of this feature I've never seen before called group photo. So everybody look pretty. Turn your cameras on if you are looking really good. Turn your cameras off if you think you look bad. I'm going to press this button called group photo, which is going to take a high quality photo using your camera, and I'll post it on Parent Square later. Okay, ready? Let's see. Here we go. Take photo. It might say 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay.
Looks like it's taking it. Michael, you managed to flash the peace sign. That's great. I'm going to create a group photo.
Voy a hacer una foto de grupo.
All right. I'm going to answer. Veronica, did she say other things being considered and stuff? We've talked about it here and there. Every year it seems to change, and even midstream in the year, sometimes classes need to get combined for other reasons. Does she share her grand plans with me ever? No. But when I ask, she's willing to share. I just need to know what to ask. How are we supposed to be recruiting for these programs? We don't have the teachers' classrooms to expand them. Faith. So the question of why are we recruiting kids if we don't have the space or the teachers? The funding is tied to students, not to classrooms. So somehow in there's math that works. I didn't do all the math myself, but it's faith. I'm just going on faith that this administrator who's been a principal for 20 years knows what she's talking about. And if she says our target should be in the 700s, then I'm like, okay, then let's try to make our numbers in the 700s. Okay, we good?
We're good.
Wrap it up. This was lively. I love the lively ones, even though I thought this was gonna be short because it was December. Thank you all for your engagement. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joel. Talk to you later. Happy New Year.
Talk to you later.
Happy
Happy
holidays,
holidays.
everybody.
Thank you.